Hey friends, it's your pal SVH coming at you with today's bowl of Saki by Hazrat Inayat for September the 8th. The soul is either raised or cast down by the power of its own thought, speech, and action. Yeah, man, this one goes along in lines with a lot of the things that we've spoken about in the last couple of bowls of Saki about your own thoughts and speech and action has a lot to do with what happens in your life. We are co-creators. We do create our environment. We create what's going on in our lives, and where we put our thoughts and our actions really have a lot to do with what our outcome in life is. And this really alludes to that. And I'm going to share some commentary by Piro Murshid Hazrat Inayat that I think is just really relevant. It's a couple short little clips here, but I think it's much more poignant than anything I can say. One should say to the mind, "Look here, you are my mind, you are my instrument, you are my slave and servant. You are here to help me, to work for me in this world. You have to listen to me, and you will do whatever I wish. You will think whatever I wish. You will feel whatever I wish. You will not think or feel differently from my wishes, for you are my mind, and you must prove in the end to be mine." By doing this, we begin to analyze our mind. We begin to see where it is wrong and where it is right, what is wrong in it and what is right in it, whether it is clouded, whether it is rusted, or whether it has become too cool, or whether it has become overheated. We can't train it ourselves in accordance. We can train it ourselves in accordance with its condition, and it is we who are the best trainers of our mind, better than anybody else in the world. So here Murshid's talking about really commanding the mind to follow your desires and what you know your purpose in life is to be, and not to follow its own fancy wishes, of running off and things like that. It's kind of like, I have a puppy and she's not, about 7 months old, and it's like she could be walking really good, really focused, really attentive, and see a butterfly, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I gotta go chase this butterfly. So it's like keeping the mind trained to where the little butterfly doesn't distract it. And it's the same thing I'm doing with the dog. I'm training the dog to not get distracted by everything else on the walk and stay on the path. And it's hard to do, it's a difficult thing, especially for our minds. It's probably easier with a dog than it is for our mind, right? And here is one of my all-time favorite sayings by Murshid in this particular, in the context of this particular bowl of Saki. Each individual composes the music of his own life. If he injures another, he brings disharmony. When his sphere is disturbed, he is disturbed himself, and there is a discord in the melody of his life. If he can quicken the feeling of another to joy or to gratitude, by that much more he adds to his own life. He becomes himself by that much more alive. Whether conscious of it or not, his thought is affected for the better by the joy or gratitude of another, and his power and vitality increases thereby, and the music of his life grows in harmony. Love that. And another thing that Murshid says here in the same vein, the heart must be tuned to the stage and the pitch where one feels at one-ment with persons, objects, and conditions. For instance, when one cannot bear the climate, it only means that one is not in harmony with the climate. When one cannot get on with persons, then one is not in harmony with them. When one cannot get on with certain affairs, that one is not in harmony with those affairs. If conditions seem too hard, it shows that one is not in harmony with the conditions. So this really is the essence of Sufism to me, and definitely the essence of my particular branch of Sufism, and what really drew me to the path is this whole idea of harmony. Creating harmony and balance. As a musician myself, I can speak in these terms and I can understand what it's like to be in discord, what it's like to have disharmony, what it's like to have things be discordant, And I also know what it is like to have things be in perfect tune and perfect alignment and perfect pitch and perfect tune, so this is really what it's all about. It's all about vibrating at that frequency, at that level that really feels in tune for you as an individual. And this is what Murshid teaches us, and we have the power to do this by focusing on that frequency we want to resonate at. And when we say frequency, it's not always necessary a particular sound. It's more a quality. It's more a quality, and the quality has probably a sound or sonic resonance, or it might be out of the scope of a sonic capabilities, but at least it probably has a color association. There's probably some sort of a note, a sound or sonic or vibrational frequency in terms of like a number or something that denotes it specifically. But it's really more of an essence. It's a quality. It's a state and a station that you rest in and you resonate at with, where you feel completely whole and completely in tune and completely alive and completely at one with the divine, right? In your true self, in your true nature. Your true note is not the ego note. It's not the individual note or the personality. It's not the SVH or the Sikander or the Scott von Heldt or whatever face or garb I have to wear. It's that true resonance, that true perfect pitch that aligns with the divine, that is the divine, right? So it's a powerful teaching. I really love this one. I could go on and on. I've already gone on quite a while here, but I will leave this one with you here. The most important subject to study in this whole life is ourselves. What we generally do is to criticize others, speak ill of them, or dislike them, but we always excuse ourselves. The right idea is to watch our own attitude, our own thought and speech and action, and to examine ourselves to see how pardon me, I lost myself. Examine ourselves to see. Okay, the right idea is to watch our own attitude, our own thought and speech and action, and to examine ourselves to see how we react upon all things in our favor and in our disfavor, to see whether we show wisdom and control in our action, or whether we are without control in thought. Then we should also study our body, for by this we should learn that the body is not only a means of experiencing life by eating and drinking and making ourselves comfortable, but that it is a sacred temple of God. So there you have it, friends. A long bowl of Saki for you today. Lots of commentary, lots of things to chew on. So we'll be back again soon. Make sure you share this with a friend. Hit the like and subscribe button below. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I put up some new videos. And we'll be back again soon with another bowl of Saki.